Bring in the former acting ICE director, Ron Vitiello. And Ron, this really is extraordinary information. I mean, you've got on this letter, you've got 2 full pages of offenses that more than 425,000 illegal immigrants who are allowed into this country have committed, highlighted by the fact that there are 13,099 who have criminal convictions for murder, and there are 1,845 who have pending charges against them, 15,811 who have criminal convictions for rape or other sexual assault, and an additional 4,250 who have pending charges. Where did the system break down?
Well, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, this is the symptom of the chaos that we've seen at our border during the presidency of Joe Biden and the vice presidency of Kamala Harris. When they took over, the illegal migration across the southwest border was at 50-year lows, and now it's at unprecedented numbers for the last 3+ years. And the non-detained docket, which is the population that we're talking about here, within the non-detained docket, that's 8 million people. So even if 1% of that 8 million were a threat to public safety, and obviously the numbers that you're showing, those people are putting us all at risk. Every city, every town in the United States is at risk because we know that the system was overwhelmed for many, many years, and now a non-detained docket of 8 million people mean there are people walking among us in almost every single city and town in the United States who were not invited here, that jumped the wall and came into the United States illegally and are plying their trade as a cartel member, as a gangster of some other kind, of someone who's abusing children or trafficking other human beings. And that's what happens when sanctuary cities conflate with a chaotic border. We are all at risk.
You know, Ron, as we learn this breaking news, I'm sure there's people at home going, this is an emergency. Like, where is the DHS secretary to speak to these numbers, to tell us what we're doing about it, right? And it's one thing to say, okay, well, candidate Trump is pitching to fix the problem. Perhaps Kamala Harris lays out to her supporters the way she plans to fix the problem at the border. But these people are already here, Ron.
That's right. And this secretary has already stated that when they make these encounters at the border, 85% of people are being released, and he's greatly restricted ICE's ability to go find these people. And I will just tell you from experience that when people are set on a notice to appear, and they can go to immigration court when they get a notice from the government, which may be years and years from now, many of them will not come because they know they don't have, a legal right to immigrate into the United States. Look, this is a society that values the contributions of legal migrants across the country. But this chaos and these kinds of staggering numbers scare people, rightly so. Why are we going to continue to do this to ourselves when there are alternatives? We can have safer streets, safer communities, and a border that is secure, that allows people, through the legal channels to come into the United States so we can vet them. We can make sure they're not a threat to public safety. And if and when they are held to account and removed after they serve their state sentence for whatever crimes they commit in our communities. That's what needs to happen. We need to have an immigration system that has integrity for both on the legal side, and when people fall afoul of the law as illegal migrants or migrants that are here that commit crimes, they need to be removed, and they need to be removed expeditiously. And you can see these numbers here. I mean, ICE only has, a couple of thousand people who are assigned to that work. And so this is a monumental task that will need to be corrected, because we cannot continue to have this chaos at the border and put our cities and towns at risk to the degree that we are.
Hey, Ron, forgive me if I'm not really up on the law. I came into this country as a legal immigrant 32 years ago. And it seemed to me at the time that something like a murder conviction would make somebody ineligible to immigrate to this country, either legally or illegally. I mean, am I getting that wrong?
That's correct. If you get convicted of murder, as in your example, you're subject to deportation. And if an immigration officer finds you and takes you into custody, then you'll have a hearing with the judge. So
then why are these people still in the country?
Well, most of those folks that are on the non-detained docket are here illegally. They've been addressed at the border, have been released with a notice to appear.
Right,
others have been in the country.
But why are they still here?
Because you have the conflagration of sanctuary cities and an immigration system that it doesn't have the kind of resources or the will, frankly, under this administration to take this problem in hand and go after the worst of the worst.
Unbelievable. I mean, I think Bill Melugin said it. This is a jaw dropper. People have had enough, and we saw that. We see that showing up in the polling, and this is a lot more to take in. Ron, thank you very much for joining us, and I know.